was a mama coming from like a black media. I was about commission a year, Mammy Jane Mensah, and then Crawford be a year on forms, echo. Now, I was or the forms in the quern, and I come be dear CHEDDAR, the presidential candidate for a year the new force party, no, and I ordinary dear, a cocoa pea honum. Now, I was Mammy Jane Mensah, a jay, a year in Kratano. Or shank cratan so, no hatched denim, or hand cratan so much, or hatched denim, and none among Crophobic Edwin say, eh, not just any and someone Crophoki can organa say on her cheddar, needing MP a ya but no, and no, and a ya coswana. Now, Ubia woko submit form, a year about commission, Mammy J. Mensah, Akachia, Umubusa on Simbi, no way yanom. No, and was shassie, and was say, Oko a year or main constitution ma article so and so. Milano actually say, Nipa or person be president. No, I was say at least when ya Yakulano, when you feel polypoly 40 years upwards, and no, and a Milano man of quine say, obey me, about your mind penny, a woman. Na Nana Kwabi Diako, Cheddar, me we saw say, when ya na, and when sin was you, me would baba of a fefe, Mammy Jane, menya manabur pa menini, me call in few polypoly eduanine ensia, inti, mitimi by your mind penny. Na webusa another question, na anenebia wawari, was it oh, mawari pa ewa yere ewa ma, na webusa uwe juma, because sawo be ye president ya, was a winya juma, ewa meimu, and was you, mewuda, mawari na mewa juma so a juma me ye no bebre nya ba kope enu nti na me se momma me kwan na me din ti me pie mu a me ba be ye niam bebre so e de aka adwuma me ye me factories bebre a enu mpo no se me be ye president ya me be se me chechire eye ekuru e wo man Ghana mu a me gusu a me ye na wo abusa no wako school kakra because mra no ma kwan se obi a wako school na ebetimi aba be ye man panyin na eno so se o mawura wawu ni se Ghana kwara mantena ha woko English ya UK ho ana mekoto me school course nti wo pass si abetima fa gogo na wo phone na ne wa search gogo ahwe mako school pa se me begina simpie so kura mpa wutimi se brofo nko na meka na wo bisa no question bia no yi ano no so woke mate ka kumya gine kokko num enti maje won krata no atum na mehwe se within a possible time no mene me team no ye be work on your paper na ye ho adwuma wi within a short time no abosum we si mu mema watemenka se emra no makwan se ye gi wutuma ye beji watum se emra no so ho makwan a ye be ka akire abusia ka me ho ne enkonko tie se ne enkomotwetwe no e ba ye emra sisi ye.
It's a good thing because he's God of the Electoral Commission, so it's good that you this welcome. But anyway, a good morning, Mr. Nanakwame Bediako, popularly known as CHEDDAR, independent presidential candidate, and to your lovely wife as well and your team. On behalf of the Electoral Commission of Ghana, I warmly welcome you all to the commission this morning. We are gathered here to kickstart one of the most important processes in the lead-up to the December 2024 general election. Indeed, without this process, the Commission cannot run the election. And here, I'm referring to the filing of nominations by presidential candidates who are seeking to contest the 2024 presidential and parliamentary elections. Regulation 7 of CI 127 enjoins a presidential candidate to complete and sign 4 copies of the nomination forms. Additionally, the forms are to be signed by no less than 2 persons who are registered voters in the area of authority of each district assembly. The presidential candidate is also required to designate a person to serve as his or her vice presidential candidate. Furthermore, the presidential candidate is required to deliver the forms to the Commission on the date prescribed by the Commission. Ladies and gentlemen, as in 2020, the Commission has established 2 teams which have been tasked to review all the forms submitted. The technical team has been tasked to scrutinize the forms submitted to ensure that the candidate meets the requirements as set out by law, namely, that the presidential candidate is at least 40 years of age, and I hope you are.
Yes, please.
That he or she has satisfied all tax obligations, that he or she has nominated a vice presidential candidate, amongst others. The second team, namely the IT team, has been charged with the responsibility of scrutinizing all voter ID cards of the presidential candidates and their supporters to ensure that the candidates are indeed registered voters. Both teams have been provided adequate training and have been oriented to carry out their functions as prescribed by law. The guiding principle for both teams is clear. They are to operate within the confines of the law. They are not to exercise discretion in the matter. Above all, they've been tasked to be fair and yet firm in executing their duties. We have no doubt that the process will be transparent, fair, and peaceful. Additionally, we are confident that the 5-day period provided for the filing process, as opposed to the 2 days provided prior to 2020, will allow enough time for presidential candidates to correct any errors identified in their forms. We are confident that this would help to eliminate the tensions and rancor that characterized nomination processes prior to the 2020 election. I welcome you warmly to the Electoral Commission once again, and thank you for personally coming to submit your nomination forms this morning. As the returning officer for the 2024 presidential and parliamentary election, I will now receive your forms. Your forms will be subjected to vetting and scrutiny by our teams. I'd like to assure you that our teams will go to work immediately on your forms and will contact you within the shortest possible time to inform you of the decision arrived at. I'd like to thank you for your time, and may God bless our homeland Ghana and make our nation great and strong.
Yankomoni akwakuti abano. For our to comment section as like a comment na share. Don't forget to be notification bell so send be a blend up ya the update ba so when you be after.